India leases two MQ-9B SeaGuardian drones for 1,943 crore rupees. Why? India has signed a deal to lease two MQ-9B SeaGuardian drones from the United States for the Indian Navy. The contract signed on August 17, 2026, is worth around 1,943 crore rupees, with a lease period of 30 months. You may naturally wonder, why spend so much money on just two drones? And more importantly, what is the MQ-9B and how useful is it for India? Let's find out. The MQ-9B SeaGuardian is a high-altitude, long-endurance, remotely piloted aircraft. This is not an ordinary small drone. It can operate at altitudes of around 40,000 feet and, depending on its configuration, can remain airborne for more than 30 hours. Its biggest advantage is its surveillance capability. It can use maritime radar, electro-optical and infrared sensors, automatic identification systems, and electronic support systems to monitor ships and activities over large areas for long periods. Why does India need it? India has a vast Indian Ocean region to monitor. Merchant ships, warships, submarines, fishing vessels, and potentially illegal activities all need to be monitored. Instead of keeping a manned aircraft in the air for long periods, an MQ-9B can provide persistent surveillance. This strengthens the Indian Navy's Maritime Domain Awareness, basically India's ability to know what is happening across the surrounding seas. Where can India use the MQ-9B? Its primary area of interest will be the Indian Ocean region, including the Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, strategic maritime approaches, and major shipping routes. India's existing SeaGuardian drones have also been used for ISR missions in the Indian Ocean region and along the China-facing LAC, according to reports. Another important capability is anti-submarine warfare. With the right mission configuration, the SeaGuardian can use sonobuoys to help detect and track submarines, so it can potentially help India monitor threats both above and below the surface. Is a 4,943 crore rupee lease a good deal? This is the biggest question. 1,943 crore rupees for two drones over 30 months is certainly a significant amount, but this is not a permanent purchase. It is an interim lease. India is already moving ahead with a much larger procurement program for 31 MQ-9B drones, including SeaGuardian variants for the Navy. Since those drones will take time to arrive, this lease is intended to prevent a gap in India's long-range surveillance capability. So from a short-term strategic perspective, the deal can be justified, but whether it offers the best value for money is still a legitimate question. What about India's own drone technology? This is perhaps even more important. India cannot depend on foreign drones forever. The country needs to develop its own capabilities in long-endurance surveillance drones, armed drones, loitering munitions, and counter-drone systems. DRDO and Indian startups are already working in these areas. India is also looking to develop domestic maintenance, repair, and overhaul infrastructure as part of the larger MQ-9B program. Because India can buy drones today, but the drones that India needs for tomorrow's battlefield must increasingly be designed and built in India. So, what is the real significance of this deal? These two MQ-9B drones will immediately strengthen India's surveillance across the Indian Ocean. More endurance, greater range, advanced sensors, and continuous monitoring. At the same time, this lease acts as a temporary bridge until India's larger MQ-9B fleet arrives. So this is not simply a story about buying two drones. It is about strengthening India's eyes and ears across the Indian Ocean. But in the long run, India's success will depend on how quickly it develops its own advanced drone ecosystem. What do you think? Is the 4,943 crore MQ-9B lease a good strategic deal for India, or should India invest more in developing indigenous drones? Share your opinion in the comments.